Warning. This video contains super awesome content not suitable for people who don't enjoy super awesomeness. Viewer discretion advised.
Welcome to Viewer's Choice. Your selection is about to begin. But first, take a look at what else you can see this week.
Hey, dudes, inviting you to travel through time. First stop, a long layover at the video store.
Bogus.
Wait, you've got Viewer's Choice.
Excellent.
Hello, you rotten little bloodsuckers.
America's most popular now. Get extra value. $12.50 cash back.
Rise and shine, Mr. Freeman. Rise and shine.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. What? Say what it is.
Let's get out of here! Like now!
When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad! I don't want your damn lemons! What am I supposed to do with these? Demand to see life's manager. Make life rue the day and thought it could give Cave Johnson lemons. Do you know who I am? I'm the man who's gonna burn your house down with the lemons.
This is my ship, the Nebuchadnezzar. This is the core. We broadcast our pirate signal back into the Matrix.
Welcome to the Nebuchadnezzar with your host, Aesto Morado, the double-headed coin, and your co-host, Pablo Morado, the Thunderbolt. Together, we are the Paramid Podcast.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.
Welcome to the Nebuchadnezzar with your host, Ernesto and Pablo Morado! welcome to the most banned podcast on the internet. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the drones in New Jersey. We're also going to be talking about what is going on with the world in terms of the positioning towards war, transitioning to Donald Trump as a new president, and much, much more. So many things to go over. What is going on with Google? We'll talk about that as well. Quantum computing and a lot more. That's right. That's right. So we're going to be going into a lot of things, but we also want to also bring some holiday cheer to all those that are listening, because you know what? It is the Christmas season, and you know it's time to be thankful, grateful. There's so many things to be grateful for, despite all the crazy things that have been going on in the world. So how's everything been, Nesto? Everything's been fine. I even take this moment out to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year to all our followers, to all our viewers, to our brother Longo, and brother Guru. I hope you guys have a wonderful, healthy, prosperous, loving holidays. Time is going by so fast that I'm already looking forward to summer. And you know what? It'll be here in a blink of an eye. That's the thing. So what I recommend everybody do is, you know, we can get stuck in our ways and start getting in the rub and getting angry about politics and what's going on around the world. I think there's this time for all of that. But during the holiday season, I think it's time to slow it up, like a couple notches down, and enjoy family, have good food, open up presents, and enjoy what this holiday is all about. It's all about family and loving and getting together. So I wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas. That's right. And you know, I wanted to take a few moments to go over some Christmas themed, I wouldn't call it news, I would just say some fun facts. Because yesterday, let's see, it's Friday, right? So yesterday, we had a company like ugly sweater thing going on, and it was like a little competition that we did. And it was funny because one of my coworkers, he was wearing an ugly sweater that had a depiction of Santa on it, and he was a black Santa, right? And he was like, this, according to National Geographic, this is the politically, or this is the historically accurate version of Santa. That he is a black, uh, Afro, an African, you know, he originates from that area. And then I started thinking to myself, I was like, you know, I support the thought, the notion of like, you know, you wanted to say that the idea of Santa comes from Africa, but in reality, it doesn't make any sense. Because now, how do you correlate that Santa comes from Africa? Well, I don't know if he was being like funny, but everybody was feeling along as if we wound up winning the whole competition for that, for mentioning that National Geographic stated that historically accurate Santa Claus is black. Now, do you have any content that can prove that? Let me see. Let's see. National Geographic, because from what I gather, this whole Santa thing stems from like from the north, from like it's a Norse thing, like yeah, something from
which makes
northern
sense.
Europe, you know, because Santa not because of that they're racist, it's just because climate-wise, you're mostly inside, so you're getting less sun. You know, it just makes more sense to me. Well, I was under the impression that parent again, with more of an like an Eastern European thing, where, things like Krampus stems from there. So what context the National Geographic? Because I'll be learning something. Yeah, that is true. So here's what I was finding here. And let's see. So I don't believe that there's any basis in truth with that. But everyone was cheering. That was the point I was really making, is that everyone was cheering along as if it was true. And well, here I got won the contest because of that statement. And I'm just like, I'm all for the inclusion, but if you're going to say that it's historically accurate, in reality, there's some other origins that if Santa comes from more of a pagan winter solstice. Well, look what I have here. It says the origin of Sinterklaas can be found in stories of Saint Nicholas, a 4th century Greek bishop from Myra, now in modern day Turkey. St. Nicholas was credited with a wide variety of miracles. According to one story, he resurrected 2 youths after they'd been murdered and pickled in a barrel by an innkeeper. What? Wow! Put that on the show so we can put it up on stage. This is crazy. But yeah, I found a different article that also includes mushrooms in the whole Christmas thing. And apparently the origins of Christmas has some connection to the Amanita muscaria mushroom. I don't believe I went over this before, but if I did last year, then some of you might be getting a refresher. For those that are just tuning in and have never seen this podcast before, there might be some interesting and fascinating food for thought when it comes to the whole Christmas season. So let me pull this up here. So for National Geographic, let's see. Did you put up on the show already? Yeah. History of Santa. It's in the history of Santa. I put Santa on the show. So let's see. Put Santa on the show. In show number 112? Yeah. This is Santa. I don't see a show 112. Oh, oops. I put it on the show number 1. But I didn't. What do we got here? Can you believe it? We're at the show 112. Yo, I'm flying by. We've been doing it for 2 years. Here we go. So let me put this up on screen for this too. And I'm going to start reading. From the earliest days into the 19th century, Father Christmas was a strictly allegorical figure. He was a symbol of the Christmas season rather than a mythical being. It was often depicted as a merry old man who presided over festive parties, not a gentle giver of gifts. And that's largely because Christmas was celebrated differently, with much more emphasis on entertainment for adults as can be seen in Penny Meadows' drawings in the Illustrated London News. So I want to see this in a minute. in a cricket barrel thing. The earliest evidence for personified Christmas can be found in the 15th century carol, in which character called Christmas shares the news of Christ's birth. He tells his audience to make good cheer and right Mary. Another precursor Father Christmas can be found in New York, where a festival called the Yule Ridings took place on the 21st of December. A man disguised as Yule carried peats and meat through the street and threw nuts into the crowd. Imagine that, you're getting nuts and in 1572, the procession was born after complaints of the very rude and verbose behavior. Elsewhere in theater and school times, especially appointed lords of Monsieur oversaw Christmas celebrations. In aristocratic houses, they were sometimes given names like Captain Christmas, the Christmas Lord, or Prince Christmas. But none of these early personifications of Christmas make him out to be a father or old man. For that, the world had to wait to the playwright Ben Jonson. I have over here, long before the symbol of Father Christmas emerged in England, the separate legend of Santa Claus was green, brown, and yellow. The origins of Santa Claus can be found in stories of St. Nicholas, a 4th century Greek bishop of Myra, now in modern-day Turkey. St. Nicholas was credited with a wide variety of miracles. According to one story, he resurrected 3 youths. Are you calling me a youth? 3 youths after they'd been murdered and pickled in a barrel by an infant. Oh my God. In another tale, so St. Nicholas resurrected 3 youths that were murdered and pickled in a barrel. If you scroll down, you'll see a picture of St. Nick. They were murdered and pickled in a barrel. Yeah. Wow. If you scroll down, you see, oh, you got it, thing. You'll see the 3 pictures. Yeah, the depiction. In another tale, he met a poor man who was on the brink of selling his own daughter into slavery. Wow. Under the cover of darkness, the saint anonymously received 3 bags of gold by an enemy to provide dowry to the girl. The gold landed in their stockings, which were drained by the fire. St. Nicholas' fame spread throughout medieval Europe. After his relics were rescued from Myra and taken to Italy, making 1007 over time tales of his old city exploits drive to tradition of leaving gifts for children in the night before 6th December, which was St. Nicholas' Day. In the Netherlands, special markets sprang up to sell toys and treats for the occasion, and St. Nicholas for Santa Claus. And personally, dressed in red bishop's costumes to delight the crowd. Tradition had it, in his quest to deliver presents, St. Nicholas will enter houses by passing through locked doors or descending down chimneys to leave gifts in shoes and stockings. I also have here more evidence of their survival from but it's clear that popular traditions survive. One famous depiction is Van Hume's 17th century painting of the Feast of St. Nicholas, which shows a chaotic domestic death scene of gift giving and feasting. More evidence of their survival comes from the ways that the future Claus universe expanded to include a host of frightening and violent characters who dished out punishment to naughty children, including Krampus, Pierre Foucault, Old story, Nicholas. And next Rupert onward. I got a comment on this. When I was a kid, and I have while I tell this story, I got a little task for you. Go to YouTube and see if you find Spanish movie about Santa Claus and the devil. I don't know if last year I discussed this, but I grew up in a Spanish household, and the two great families of a Spanish household back then was Canal 41 and Canal 47, 41 and 44. Now, it was tradition during this time of the year where they would show this movie with Santa Claus and the devil. And it was kind of creepy. Did you find anything with that? Oh, good. This is weird. And I haven't seen it since. And I believe there's an English version of it. Yeah, that's it. This is what I grew up with. Oh my God. It's called Santa Claus vs. the Devil. But I believe this is voiceover, but this is a Spanish movie. And I believe this was made in Mexico. Interesting. You know, back then Mexico, the devil and Santa Claus have a relationship going on here. Well, if you think about it, Christmas and Santa Claus is synonymous with good and evil. Yeah, and the devil. I mean, I always believe like if you look at the beginning of this movie when he's about to deliver gifts, it was said even the legend of the Sandman makes an appearance in this movie where Santa Claus, when he arrives at their home, he like blows this powder over you that sort of like puts you to sleep. Yeah, puts you to sleep. And this is how the gifts are delivered without you know. So with that said, I would like to know how the what did you say, National Geographic, the correlation with Black Santa and how Black Santa was really the original. So let me see. I have here an article from what I gather, Geographic. It says Black Pete to celebrate December 5th. Put up on the Trello. Hold on. I'm gonna share this with everybody here. So this is National Geographic. It says this notorious Christmas character is dividing a country. To celebrate December 5th, the Dutch St. Nicholas holiday, Netherlanders gather for parades in which the saint in Dutch Santa Claus arrives in town to hand out candy and gifts. But these parades have taken on an increasingly political and violent tone this year because of Santa's traditional blackface sidekick. Oh, so he had a blackface sidekick. In the Dutch legend, supposedly. In Dutch tradition, Santa Claus has a helper named Zwarte Piet or Black Pete, who usually appears as a blackface character with large gold earrings and exaggerated lips. In weeks leading up to the Saints' name day, cities and towns host parades featuring hundreds of white people dressed as Pete. Stores stock up with Dorothy Pete costumes, merchandise, and baked goods, while adults visit children's homes and schools dressed as Santa Claus and Pete. Huh.
I have never heard of this before. See,
Yeah.
this is why it's good to research.
Yes.
Because I've never heard of this before. and as you can look, the people in the video, in the clip that you were reading, have T-shirts.
Yeah.
With this character.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but how does this correlate with Black Santa? Because this is racist as hell.
I am not sure how it correlates, but hold on here. Just want to make sure we don't have any issues here. Just bear with me 1 second.
European Saint Nick have long had a menacing companions like Krampus and Saint Nick. Nicholas had a sinister helper, goes back centuries. However, modern Zwarty Pete is portrayed today. He is portrayed today. Wait a minute. The modern Zwarty, as he is portrayed today, is a more recent invention.
Well, then there's that, and then there's the research that I initially came across. Let me just pull this up. So
he wasn't dressed like Santa, the original Black Santa.
I guess not,
because it'll be awfully hot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If he stems from sub-Saharan Africa.
Yeah, I mean, that would be very, very hot, I would assume. But yeah, so with that being said,
what is this that I'm looking at? Your prep?
Yeah, hold on. Bear with me here. Dealing with some technical difficulties.
As always, never escapes.
It never escapes us, but nonetheless, we make it through here. So here we go. So there's a connection between the mushrooms and specifically the Amanita muscaria mushroom.
This is crazy. I hate to interrupt you.
Well,
but if you Google Zwerty Pete and you go to images,
okay,
there are people that actually dress like this person.
Oh my God. Oh no.
I have never heard of this.
Okay, hold on.
This is nuts.
Zwarty Pete. No.
Is this happening in modern day? Ernesto Morado at gmail.com. You can contact us at all social medias actually. Paranormal dot experience is another um, on Instagram that you can contact us in because we're having problems streaming and I do not know why. Thank you, Ellie, for watching. Show number 112. If you go to this handle, Paramid Podcast Live on YouTube, you can see the live feed and all our previous programs. So we're talking today, started off the program, the origins of Christmas. And Mr. Pablo
Of Santa, not Christmas. Of Santa.
Oh, I'm sorry, the origins of Santa. Correct. And how that plays into Christmas. So the Pablo's job, somebody dressed up like a black Santa. Remember what was it, the ugly sweater contest, and proceeded to tell Pablo that National Geographic says that the original Santa came from Africa, which I've never heard. But then we stumbled upon the legend of Santa Claus and Saint Nick, and there's a thing that I never heard before. Who was it? Saint Nicholas had a helper, a sidekick, a sidekick by the name of Dorothy Pete, and he was a black-faced person with a exaggerated lip. What's blackface thing during, you know, the 1800s? But down, they would depict black people. This was racist. I don't know. You seen it? The images I'm putting up. Crazy, crazy racist, and it looks like this is happening. Today. I mean, is it in the Netherlands? I guess in the Netherlands, yeah, Netherlanders, yeah. Netherlanders, they also are going on the Netherlanders who are protesting the tradition of St. Nicholas. The first assistant, however, is facing increasing pushback. This year, what if? As the Superclass parade in torn and flew neo-Nazi flags in the Zanji in Eindhoven, racist slogans and free egg and beer cans that peacefully protesting at the parade. Prime Prime Minister Mark Rute's statement blaming the extremists on both sides. So let's read the hit. Has a sidekick. Who was initially depicted as a white man in blackface, a white person in blackface. Well, that's the women and men dressing up. Well, it's a black sidekick, like a black house, and people dress up as him, but the black house is depicted as blackface with good looks. Right, which is super. And in this modern day, they still have parades somewhere in Netherlands, which they get into blackface and celebrating the sidekick. Right. I've never heard of this before. This one I thought I've heard of it, and no wonder I've never heard because I do a lot of
So in this time of the year, I look at a lot of documentaries about Christmas without fascinating. Same thing I do with Halloween. And I heard about, Santa Claus and the legend, that stem from that region, which even Vikings, you can trace the legend of Santa Claus even back to the Vikings. But never did I stumble upon your TP. Well, but what led us to this was that you told us that your friend dressed up as Black Santa, right? Proceeded to tell you that the original Santa, he said that Black Santa is historically accurate. Black Santa is historically accurate and natural beauty. Now, with that being said, I mean, we've been going down a deep dive of different things about Santa. Because if you go back into the past and into antiquity, I don't think Africans were celebrating Christmas at all. I don't believe so. I mean, isn't Kwanzaa a thing that they celebrate? Right. And unless you go as far back to Ethiopia, if you think of a lot of Christians in Ethiopia, well, and then there's also apparently like in Iran, because it was nice mountainous region where there's ski slopes and stuff, so there could be theoretically hiding on the slope. But you can where? In Iran. But Iran is Muslim. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Anybody knows how they come up with that? I don't know. If anybody knows a lot of information on Black Santa is historically correct, I would like to hear more about it. And if you could hit that we hit half hour mark. We hit a half hour mark. But really quickly, I just want to also go into a side step because now that we're doing the origins of Santa, we're a connection here that I've bumped into, and this is coming from because we here at the Paramid podcast have a partnership with Paramid Supplements, and our biggest and most selling supplement is our Brain Boost, which is 10 wonderful mushrooms that support the body. And so we're very familiar with mushrooms and its benefits. And it's just coincidental that Fungi Foundation put up this article here, The Influence of Hallucinogenic Mushrooms on Christmas. The story of Santa Claus is not the creation of Coca-Cola nor St. Nicholas or a Trojan story, but it exists because of a small group with great power. And Amity very so this is an article created by the founding director of Fungi Foundation. Basically, put this mushroom in a lot of historical things. I've heard things about Jesus with the mushroom, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that's a sacred mushroom in the plot. Another one. So it says Robert Gordon Ross, entomologist, and anthropologist, John A. Rush has considered fungi, the religious and ritualistic perspective, and also their psychotropic properties. There's both came to the conclusion that the Amanita muscaria mushroom is closely related to the Christmas imaginary. Hundreds of years ago, it was found at the winter solstice ceremony of the indigenous people of the North Pole, especially the Koyakas of Siberia and the Conclaves, had similar traditions to the ones of the last century Christmas Eve. In ancestral communities of the Arctic, The winter solstice, which occurs on December 24th, was a ceremonial and festive period. Rituals were conducted that were guided by shamans who collected the Amanita muscaria mushroom, also called fly argit, argit, or agaric, that's a mouthful. They're also called fly agaric, which has powerful hallucinogenic properties. Amanita muscaria is striking and characteristic in appearance with its red hat and white dots. It grows in the ground near trees such as birch and pine. The latter for people of a name that was to great height. Therefore, the place where the fly agaric mushroom grew was a place of particular value. Now, this mushroom, if you're wondering how it looks like, I mean, we have it up on the page, but it's a character in Mario Brothers, isn't it? Yeah, it's the mushroom. It's the mushroom in that Mario takes to get bigger. Right, yeah. So isn't there like a little character that's the first. He's white mushroom with red spots. Oh, that's right. But this is the mushroom that gets him bigger. Yes, this is the mushroom that gets him bigger. Red mushroom, white spots. As you can tell, I'm not a gamer. So it says here, the toxicity of the Amanita muscaria ingested is high. The second possibility is to put this in stock and spread them over fire. An imaginary an image that pushes it to tradition of turning Christmas Eve over community. Additionally, there are great help for this message. If they can keep the Amanita muscaria mushroom without suffering the effects of its venom. Thus, the urine of the animals was used, since they had already filtered the entrance of the but which still maintained its hallucinogenic effects. People would drink it. Rain during your to get hot, And this is coming from Christmas. It is like, who would have thought that Christmas and drinking fish? Connected. Well, that's what the philosopher's stone basically is. It all goes back to fish. The magic ingredient in Coke is fish. So it says here, Germany was first about something like that, which was still maintained, blah, blah, blah. So it says here, after the shaman had ingested the mushroom or drunk the urine of the reindeer, the hallucinations and reactions of the Amanita began, such as feelings of joy, desire to sing, or increased muscle strength. So many physical effort was performed. And is that the size of the mushroom? Wow, they do a pretty good. They got big. It says, I've never seen that in the wild because it doesn't grow around here. It grows in like places in Siberia and places like near pine trees. So they like the cold. Yeah. Ain't that a so it says here, the legend says that during their trips, the shamans managed to see the future of the community. And they could turn into animals that fly towards the North Star in search of knowledge to share with the rest of the people. At the end of their hallucinogenic experience, they would return to the group in their yurt, which is the type of housing typical of the inhabitants of that region at that time, and met with the important men of the town to begin the solstice ceremony, in addition to sharing their visions with the community. Wow. Shaman's psychotropic journeys are believed to be related to the idea that Santa Claus travels with a sleigh and the reindeer through the sky to deliver gifts. The gift given by the shaman was the knowledge that the mushroom gave him, in addition to sharing portions of it among those present. Another similarity with the Christmas imaginary is that the entrance to the yurt was a hole in the roof, because the main door was covered with snow. Thus, the shaman made his appearance descending from the highest part of the house, similar to Santa Claus descending through the chimney. Wow. So let me ask you this. To get into the yurt, you have to climb through a hole in the roof. Interesting. Well, it makes sense because the hole in the roof is because it would have actual fires in the yurt, and the hole in the roof is the entrance, right? Smoke. But they would enter and exit through that hole. Well, it makes sense because everything is surrounded and it's surrounded by snow. Right. But let me get this straight. If you eat that mushroom straight up, you will die. You will die. So they have to either dry it inside, or drink the piss of the reindeer. So fresh for the pig, fresher. But if you dry it, right, and I guess process it, then it's edible in small portions. I imagine. Right. They would have put, I don't think so. Clothing is another similarity, since to honor the Amanita Mysteria, the shamans dressed in red and white clothes. And to protect themselves from the snow, they used large reindeer boots and overturned black. Oh, ain't that a bitch? The expansion of Santa Fe. Over time, this shamanistic archetype changed, and it's said that with the travel of the Druids, this tradition spread to Great Britain. Then through cultural exchange, it was combined with Germanic and Nordic myths that related adventures such as those of Vulcan, the Germanic god, Odin, and his Nordic counterpart, Vikings, other gods who, when traveling during the night, had the ritual were faced by demons in the sleigh, killed eight-legged horse. It was said that a trail of red and white blood fell from the sleigh, and that the horses frothed white foam to the ground, where the Amanita mushrooms would appear the following year. Wow, that's fascinating, because also, I believe there's a Roman festival around the same time as Christmas. I believe it's called Saturnalia. Let's see. It could be mistaken. And this guy, Constantine, will come back Saturnalia. Saturnalia was a week-long celebration of winter solstice and the return of the. Okay, so then as we go through history, Constantine converted to Christianity because he saw the proverbial cross in the sky. And now that he's Christian, he converted all his pagan Roman rituals into Christian rituals, and just replaced them with Christianity. Thus, we have the birth of Christ going around the winter solstice. People that I'm correct, in the Bible, historically, Christmas is not, Jesus is not born in March or April, right? What is it they say the word born? It's August, yeah. I thought it was into like what is this? This year. Is that state of Jesus birthday more people that's the feeling of Christian holiday, but some say he was born in August or September. Oh, the Olympian book says Jesus was born in August 21st. Wow. Really? And look at August or September. Or August or September. 23rd. Yeah, wow. We hate to do this to you guys, but it's a deep inside joke. Yeah. Due to our government. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. You would copy Christian birth of Christ. Coptic Christians celebrate the birth of Christ as we know that the nativity of you have a date, January 7th. Oh, okay. Coptic Orthodox Christians celebrate Christmas on January 7th. So maybe that's where I got the March or maybe April. But can you believe that? August 21st or September. And you know, they say everything, the universe has a role to play. Wow. That for a reason. And the responsibility that it comes with. Oh, yeah. Again, where this is an inside thing. But absolutely. Yes, yes. So with that, we didn't even go into for food. If you like stories like this, let us know. Comment below. We would love to hear your opinion. And also, don't forget to please donate. And now it's time for our
Welcome to the AM/PM game show where Pablo and Aesto Morado attempt to determine what is going on in a video found online. Welcome to the AM/PM game show where Pablo and Aesto Morado attempt to determine what is going on in a video found online. Using only their ears and their third eye, the host will make a guess on what is going on. If the host gets guesses correctly, they receive $20,000 of a fiat currency that no longer exists. So what do you say, folks? Shall we play a game?
This is the AM/PM game show. Welcome to the AM/PM game show.
Radio is theater of the mind. Radio is theater of the mind. But radio is theater of the mind. It's imagination. It's imagination. Radio is theater of the mind.
Yes, it is. Radio is the theater of the mind. And going off that quote, we created the AM/PM game show brought to you by Paramid Supplements. You can reach our site at paramid.store. So it is a little game for newcomers that we play. That each Pablo will play one and I will play one. Something auditory, and we gotta actually find out through theater of the mind what is exactly going on that.
And if you watching along makes a guess by commenting in the comment section below of whether Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, you can get a free gift by one of us.
Yes.
If you get it correct.
Again, for people that are watching, if you go to my profile, I think you can see all the bells and whistles live.
All right, so you ready?
I am ready.
Here we go. What is going on in this clip? Hold on. I may not hear audio off of it.
Oh, here we go. I hear my people. Feeling mean.
What is he talking about?
Is he trying to say experiments? Feeling mean.
Feeling mean.
So what I'm gathering through my theater of the mind and my third eye, because I gotta discern this strictly by audio.
I mean, it's your people, so you might be able to decipher what
Give it to me one more time. Okay, so he is what I'm gathering is my brother from the crib. He is rubbing some kind of lotion or gel or some kind of substance in his hair, okay, to create some waves or curls to his hair. So he's like putting some soul glow in his hair.
Okay, so
feeling mean.
Is that what you're gonna call? Like you get an additional 500 points if you can guess what is this
feeling mean?
Yeah. What is this soul glow that he's putting in his hair?
Yeah, what brand is that? Feeling mean. If you folks are listening,
I'll give you a clue. It's not hair. It's not a hair product, but he's using it for his hair. That's the clue I'm gonna give.
Me. I'm gonna take a stab at it. I'm gonna phonetically believe that he's trying to say spearmint.
Okay.
Spearmint oil or something of that sort. Okay. And that's my final guess. I'm gonna stick to that because I got no. I'm hitting a brain block.
All right, okay. Let's go. Right.
I am curious as hell.
Here we go.
Feeling me.
You ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. What is the fantasy cream? What is this great thing for
Pearl Milan Company. putting pancake syrup on his hand?
So what is the so it's Pearl Milling Company.
Wow, feeling mean.
But it's original butter pancake syrup.
He must smell like IHOP everywhere he goes.
Oh man.
Now I wonder if this is actual maple syrup or is it some kind of corn syrup derivative?
It must be some kind of corn syrup derivative, I think.
Well, esos rolitos están quedando buenos, manito.
But I think you get a...
Yes. All right, so you ready for mine?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to the Trello because I got so many stuff here. Let's see. Where are you? Okay, so let me do this first. How can I do it? You know what? I'll do that for later. Okay. All right, so you threw me off for feeling mean.
Pancake syrup.
All right, so I'm going to give you this one.
I mean, you know, we put on honey in our hair. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe a little feeling mean.
I wonder what feeling mean would do to my hair. All right, so you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so what's going on in this clip? This should be an easy one, but maybe not.
Okay, let's see.
All right, hold on.
All I'm seeing is a stupid game where it's like a viral video where these two guys have a stupid mask on and they have like a little shield. You're gonna block the head, the body, or the nut sack, and you know they're choosing a spot and they're getting smacked in the head because he missed.
All right, I'm gonna let it play one more time before you make that decision.
Nah, we go one more time. Something's getting slapped or it fell. All right, I'll say two kids are playing around. One runs and falls flat in his face, and that's my final answer.
Wow, so you changed your...
I changed it because it sounds... I mean, yeah, it's either one or two things, but I think the first thought that came to mind didn't seem as clear because usually those memes they go a couple rounds. So I'm gonna say with the kid falling on the floor. That's my final answer.
Okay, so if you go to the Trello, look for Los Muchachos.
Los Muchachos, AMPM game show. And remember, folks, if you're able to make a guess and you get it correct, you get a free gift on one of us. Let's see. Oh
goodness, what is going on? Here we go. Oh, by the way, before you show the clip, your discretion is advised. And do not, I say this again, and I repeat, do not try this at home. Oh my God, what is going on? It's currently disabled for me. Look, it says, this song is currently unavailable. How are you able to? No, just get out and go back in. No, get out of it and go back to the Trello. All right. No. Did you go back to the Trello? Yeah, I did. All right. So I'll do this. You play it, and I'll just you play the audio. I play there's a couple kids. Okay, so hold on, so that we can get on the same page. He turns it on. Oh my God! So I was way off. So when that, hold on, let me pause it in the very beginning so that we can hear the audio while you play it. This is Are You Going to Hell? All right, you ready? Yeah. Play it on the thing. All right. Ready? Yeah. Oh no. Los muchachos no inventan nada bueno. That is not good. He could have blown off his head. Yeah, so it describes to what you three little kids playing around with what it looks like a little bottle rocket or something. It's actually a firecracker. A firecracker. He puts it in one of the kids' mouth and lights it, and it goes off with him. Now, my question to this video is, did he think it was a cigarette? I don't know. But in you know, as far as the video goes and your guess, you was very incorrect. Yes, you get yourself a. Yeah. All right, so let's go to the next one. All right, so what is going on in this clip? All right, let's see. See if you can determine, and this is something peculiar is going on here, but they are playing this instrument. What is going on in this clip? Wow. You always throw me off with these things. So I didn't think of doing a Christmas theme. Ask Pablo. So they're playing. I'll give you a clue. They're playing an instrument, right? They're playing some sort of instrument. But then you throw a curveball. It's in your wheelhouse. Well, I wouldn't say this one's in your wheelhouse, but they're playing an instrument, and it's a few people playing collaboratively. All right, but you know you can hear what kind of instrument they're playing, but it's a peculiar way of how they're playing it. Let's see. We'll play it one more time. using a playlist. They did a hell of a job doing it. All right, so they're using.
You might be surprised at how they're playing it, but what's your guess?
I'm gonna say this is like a group of people playing with bells. Okay, and
what's the unique way they're playing the bells?
I'm gonna say they're playing it with their feet.
All right, is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right, so they're playing bells with their feet. All right, so here we go. I'll put this up on screen for everybody to see it. All right.
What else could they be doing? This is bizarre. I had a feeling. I had some feeling, and I messed up. I just didn't. Okay, play the damn clip. That's why you should never second guess yourself. Because the minute I heard it, and you were telling me they were playing it a particular way, the first thing that went into my mind, you know what it was? Zelensky.
Well, yeah.
And I was like, but how is he doing this?
So for those that are just listening, explain what is going on in this.
It's a group of people that have on, they have like a belt, sort of like a chastity belt.
But they're also dressed up as mummies, by the way. That's another.
Oh, I thought they were they dressed up as mummies. They got this device strapped around their waist, almost looking reminiscent of a chastity belt.
Right.
And they have bells attached to it. And I don't know what you call those. That what do you call it? Like a mallet. You know, like a mallet, and the bell is in front of it, and they're pivoting their hips to make the sound with the bell, and it looks like they're, you know, how do I explain this to be gentle? Like they're moving their bojangles. And they're making they're pulling it off. They're making the music of Christmas.
They're making Christmas music
by jangling
their bojangles.
Yeah.
Well, that puts a spin on the jingle jangles.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I think you got
I'm not doing well today. 0 for 2.
All right, what do you got for me?
All right, so now we go into the round is, are you going to hell?
Oh, okay, here we go.
So you cannot laugh.
That's right.
Okay?
Laugh.
Yeah. This is the object of this game. Look at the video without laughing.
Okay.
All right. So if you go to Are You Going to Hell, you're going to see poop death.
Oh, okay. All right, here we go.
It's just a regular day of fishing.
You got me. Oh,
just a regular day of fishing.
Well, was that a woman? Or a
Are you going to eat fish from this river? If this is what's going on, man. Let's look at froze. Is that a man? Yeah, it's a man. All right, I got one for you. All right. You can't laugh. You can't laugh. All right, so I can't laugh. Hold on, let me get back up. All right. Hit me. Play it again. I like the narration. That's the ASMR of it. That ASMR got me. Play it again. Play it again. Okay, that was a good one. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, that was good. That was good. All right, folks. This is the ending of the show. I got a bonus one. Oh, all right. You got a bonus one. Then, all right, let's do it. All right. So, this is what happens when you piss off your window washer. All right. So, remember, we can't laugh. Okay. Get it out now. All right, here we go. Making me laugh. That's not fair. That is not fair. I got it out. I got it out. Ooh, okay. All right, here we go. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my God! Oh man! Damn! This guy had a lot of time on his hands. Oh man! Oh man! Yo, that was... always pay the window cleaner. Oh man! Like with that, I got a bonus one. You got a bonus one? All right. We were talking about who in the beginning of the Santa Claus, and what was his sidekick's name? Sway Pete or something? We're can't laugh now. All right. You go to paper plate. Okay. Here we go. Play it one more time because he's got that chicken wing around his. In the shoe. Oh man, that well. Let me give myself that couldn't. Oh man. Yes, Lucy won today. I got one final bonus one. One final. We could spend all day on these bonuses, but let's do it. All right. Now this is this guy. When you have no other hands to fight, you got to do what you got to do to beat up your opponent. This is supposedly in a UFC. Remember, you cannot laugh. Okay, hold on. We're gonna have to log in here. Hold on. I got one for you while you wait. All right. If you go to Are You Going to Hell? Face slide. Oh no. Okay, here we go. Face slide. Okay. Hold on. This actually happened to a buddy of my best friend. No. Wait. I don't see it. It says, "Are you going to hell?" No, I see the face slide, but there's nothing in there. Oh no! Oh wait, hold on. I think I got it. Yeah, there it goes. Oh my goodness! I think we put this one on stage before. Hold on. Oh, you gotta log in no matter what. Yeah, hold on. I gotta log in. That's what I put up? That's what it showed up. Oh no, so you know what? Don't even play this because this is disgusting. All right, hold on, let me eliminate this guy. So this guy can make me upset. Oh man. Remember, you're not allowed to laugh in these segments, but we got to find a way to get people to send us videos, and if they can make us laugh. Oh yeah, that would be great. If you can make us laugh, then maybe we can do like the AM/PM game show. You make us laugh, we'll give you a prize. Right. So bear with us, folks. Hold on. I can't believe they made this age restricted. Hold on. And again, this segment of the podcast is brought to you by Paramid Supplements. You can reach our site at paramid.store for all your supplement needs. I use this every day. I just, took my nightly dose of thermal melt and Fortify, which has vitamins K2 and D3. I do not miss a day. And I also take this with omega fish oils, which is a good combination because it gives you immunity. And they were using this, as a matter of fact, during COVID. And I also like to take glucosamine as well. All right, so here we go. Remember, you can't laugh. The caption is, "Bro's using everything he's got." Are you kidding me? that guy is ambidextrous. I mean, what do you think that was going to do? It actually distracted him a bit. And that is our AM PM game show on Are You Going to Hell? We are going to hell this weekend. That's right.
Welcome to the AM PM game show where Pablo and Aesto Morado attempt to determine what is going on in a video found online. Using only their ears and their third eye, the host will make a guess on what is going on. If the host gets guesses correctly, they receive $20,000 of a fiat currency that no longer exists. So what do you say, folks? Shall we play a game?
You just witnessed our AM PM show, AM PM show, game show, and now it's time for our current event segment. So yes, welcome to our current event segment, and these days, so many things have been going on. It's hard to keep track of what. But I've been looking back at the movie Leave the World Behind, because I feel, because of the executive producers of the movie happens to be Michelle and Barack Obama, I feel like there's a lot of hidden symbols and things that are going on. And predictive programming. So, one of the first things you see in this movie is that a cargo ship gets beached in their vacation. Right? That's one of the first like anomalous things that was going on. Right? And recently, I've been looking into ships, and I think maybe it was like a a cryptic symbol of ships having some issues, ships crashing into things. And lo and behold, you have cargo ships crashing into bridges. I believe there was an oil tanker that crashed into a bridge recently, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, let me just look it up here really quickly. But there's a lot of things that are relating to that notion that there was like boats crashing in recent days. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's just a coincidence. And then it goes into planes crashing, right? And then what the guy mentions is, well, perhaps they knocked out one of our satellites, right? And that's where these boats and planes are crashing, right? Because they knocked out one. And one of the things that Donald Trump created the Space Force for was for that potential problem, right? Because the Space Force is a branch of the United States military, and he has a serious concern that our enemies could be knocking out our satellites. And China just made some massive mission to the moon with a probe to the moon, landed on the dark side of the moon, and there was a lot of
this happened during late summer. Am I correct?
Yeah, I believe so. Okay. So there in the movie, there's a lot of moon in it. They're like showing perspective from the moon, a lot of like moon symbols. Like perhaps what China is actually doing is putting some kind of defense or offensive materials on the moon to shoot down our satellites. It kind of gave me that vibe. That's what they were doing.
Some kind of space arsenal on the moon,
right?
In getting ready for some kind of space war,
right? Some kind of space war. So I mean, that's what. So I'm watching this, and then you watch even further, and then mysterious drones start popping into the movie, which is another thing that's going on. And then one other thing is cyber attacks, right? That they're mentioning that there was a cyber attack that happened. And one of the things that I'm noticing is that there's been some relentless cyber hacking from China in recent days. And then they go into that their mode and method is to isolate. Oh my goodness, it was on the tip of my tongue here, but so there's a lot of like real life correlation to what's been going on, what's in that movie, Leave the World Behind. And I'm wondering if there's some kind of like some kind of symbology that Obama left behind, some crumbs, some hints of what's to come. Right, what's to come. And the more I watch it, the more it creeps me out. The more it makes me feel like that there's something like that on the way. Like there's something. And one of the things that they were pointing out was that the drones were dropping flyers that were in Farsi, and they were pointing to Iran in the movie. Well, and that's what they're saying about the drones now. That these drones. Who did we play in episode 111? That I believe she was a woman. Was describing Osama bin Laden's son. Oh, super bad. Right. Yes. Didn't she? Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't she say that a coordinated terrorist attack is imminent? Yes, she did. And one of the main targets in this attack is, of course, New York City. Right. The reason I bring that up is because in that movie, Leave the World Behind, the ending of Leave the World Behind, you see what is reminiscent of like a nuclear explosion in the distance. Right. And that's signaling that this is happening in New York City. Am I correct? They showed. I mean, they're obviously in New York. The whole movie's set in New York, right? Because they're deep in Long Island, right? So the explosion that they see is in Manhattan. Yeah. And what they're hearing is like fighter jets, like flying in and dropping missiles. And one of the things that they were mentioning is that the United States has made so many enemies that it's conceivable to think that our enemies have teamed up against us. Right. Right. And one of the stated missions of Osama bin Laden's son, Hamza bin Laden, is that he wants America to feel what the Iranians have been going through. He wants America to feel the bombings and the constant, terror that they've been going through. Now this, what is this lady's handle? Superbad? Superbad. Her name is Sarah Adams. Now, did she mention that this is a form of revenge to what they did to Osama bin Laden, or no? Well, so what she is mentioning is that Osama bin Laden, his main goal was to create what is called the Islamic Army, right? And the Islamic sort of like a jihad. So yeah, where everybody comes together for the greater good, right? And the Islamic Army is supposed to fold in all the different like extreme sectors, like the Taliban, ISIS, Hezbollah, Hamas, and all these different terrorist groups unite under one. And sort of what she is saying is that already happened. that they are all united, and that what's going on is that America is falling for the bait and switch that Hamza is doing, and making people believe that they're rival, terrorist organizations, but in reality, they're all in cahoots.
So this is an okey doke,
right? And they're reporting back to Al Qaeda, which Hamza bin Laden is the leader of. So Al Qaeda is still around, but now Al Qaeda is hidden underground. Now Al Qaeda is like, it's like
Al Qaeda,
huh?
Al Qaeda.
Yeah, Al Qaeda. It's like it's the hidden underground. Like before, when Osama bin Laden was running it, he wanted, to take ownership. Like, this is Al Qaeda. It's not the Taliban doing this. This is Al Qaeda planning this, whatever. But his son started to take a note from some of like CIA and some clandestine groups, and started realizing, no, it's better to be hidden and to be the puppet master of all these things. So,
but they did rear their ugly head, because now Al Qaeda is ruling over Syria.
Right. And the thing is, and the Taliban is ruling over Afghanistan, right?
And Syria is a key geographical, strategic place, because through Syria is where Iranians are exchanging weapons with Vladimir Putin.
Mm-hmm.
And one of their roads lead through Syria.
Mm-hmm.
And I have acquaintances that live in that part of the world, and they have told me on several occasions that they have seen the convoys, of Russia supplying Iran and Iran supplying Russia.
So this is the Sean Ryan show that we got this from, and let's just take a quick listen to Superbad Sarah Adams describing what is they predicting to be prepared for when it comes to what Hamzat is working on, right? So let's check this out real quick.
Pause it. Now, explain to me, who is this woman and how does she get this information?
So she is a CIA asset who goes into these regions and collects information. But the problem is that she's collecting information and they're doing nothing about it. They're ignoring her.
Now,
being that she's a CIA asset, how does she go on Sean Ryan's show? Is she doing what is commonly called whistleblowing?
Yep, exactly. Because she brought this information to them, and they just ignored it. So she's like, no, but this is like high level information. What are you ignoring this for? And now she's at a point where she has to go up through her own channels to alert the public about what's happening. Because in her, research, in her journalism, she's uncovering that something is afoot, something is happening. They're bringing things over. They already have 1,000 troops deployed, and they're training them. And training them for what? Let's hear what they're.
What I was going to say as well is that not only are these terrorists, they're here already, right, but they also infiltrated Europe as well.
Yep.
They're definitely in England.
Yeah, and that's where they want.
They're in France.
Yep.
They're in Germany. And they're in Canada.
And they're all training simultaneously.
And if you look at what's going on across the world, as far as the little bit of research I've done, and I would have liked to have done more research, because it is absolutely fascinating. All these countries that have been invaded by these terrorist immigrants, illegal immigrants, because they've gone in to England, France, Germany, Canada, and they've been accepted with open arms. So what is going on is that in all these countries, where even to the point in I believe it's in Switzerland, they're taking over. Crime has risen to astronomical proportions in these countries, and the governments are becoming really shaky, like in Germany, like in Canada, even in England. The political infrastructure is on shaky ground. So this is like, I've said it before, it's very reminiscent of the way World War II began to degrade.
So yeah, I mean, it's scary because Sean Ryan here makes a point that I've been worried about since way back when we first started this podcast, because I have this weird, like, uncanny feeling that Americans are so used to, not having a war here on our soil, that our enemies are going to take full advantage of that. And I feel like we might be blindsided with a war on our soil. And if you hear Mr. Sean Ryan, who was also a CIA agent once himself, and a decorated war hero, he has these questions as well. So check this out. Let me put this up on stage for everyone to see. October 7th is what they did to Israel. They're trying to do an October 7th type attack to us
on American soil.
Yeah. Do you know why the date 9/11 was chosen? No. We'll pause it. One, this thing that she's saying is something that should be in the mainstream media. Even if what she is saying doesn't come to fruition,
we should still be aware.
Because one thing has perplexed me since 9/11. It's the lack of follow through. Now let me explain. I always was under the when 9/11 happened, I was under the impression, oh shit, they got us by the balls now. They attacked the Twin Towers.
Right.
They attacked the Pentagon. Right. They attempted to I don't know where that jet was. I forget where that jet was going that went down in Pennsylvania. But that was going to a strategic target.
Right.
It's just that, from what we know, the passengers took the laws into their own hands after learning what had happened in the World Trade and in the Pentagon. Now, when I say that, the lack of follow through, you figure once you got us by the balls, I was under the impression that we're in a high state of awareness because of this. I thought they was gonna like continue, because imagine if they went further. If they went from 9/11 to the Pentagon and wherever that Pennsylvania flight was going, and they would have
had more like more incidents, having like more dates that they, you know. That
well, this is what I mean. Once that happened, right? The Pennsylvania flight failed, but they hit the target twice, 3 times actually. 2 on the World Trade, 1 in the Pentagon, right? It seems to me that they didn't plan further than this. Like, I thought we were going to be subject to car bombs in New York City. So imagine after this, 2 days later, bombs going off all throughout the 5 boroughs in New York City and throughout the country.
Well,
this would have
why though, right?
This would have froze the United States on their tracks. Now, you were going to say something?
Yeah, well, the thought process was, I believe what happened was they underestimated us, because they figured that they'll hit the World Trade Center, they hit the Pentagon, right, and then we'll go into a war with terror, or war on terrorism, and we would get dragged into a war, and they figured that we would be protesting that, like the way we protested Vietnam. They were figuring that we would have some infighting on this war, which there was some infighting on this war.
Even Donald Trump weighed in on it.
And they were, you know, figuring that we would eat ourselves up. That if they hit the financial the financial hub, the World Trade Center, and then hit where it hurts, the Pentagon, that we would end up fighting ourselves to the death to rebuild. And in a way, you know, they kind of got what they wanted. We kind of like burned a lot of money on this war in Iraq, and
not only did we burn a lot of money on this war, but it changed the makeup of our
future,
our existence.
Yeah, I mean,
in this country and worldwide.
They gave them the ability to do all kinds of surveillance and all kinds of...
Right, so the life that we were used to
evaporated.
I mean, I was listening to Curtis Lewa yesterday, and he said that before 9/11, people that were, you know, in Buffalo could easily enter the Canadian side, right, and buy beer on the Canadian side and transport it over to the New York side. Why would they do that? Because the alcohol content of beer is more regulated in the U.S. than it is in Canada. So there's more alcohol
in the beer
in Canada. So people will go over, buy the stronger beer, bring it over to the New York side, and he said you can go in and out, no problem. They didn't even ask for your passport. Flying was a lot easier. You didn't have to go through these long lines and checkups, and we were free.
Oh yeah,
we were
there was a
were freer. That's a word. Then, but once 9/11 happened, the change, and if this was what the terrorists were trying to accomplish, they did it.
Yeah, they did it.
So, but I also...
There was a meme that I saw that is like, you see like a couple on a flight in like the 1980s where they have real silverware, delicious plate of food, like a hearty plate of food, with like look like steak or whatever, and you see the caption is, I wonder what the air travel is going to look like in the future. I mean, if this is what they have now, it must be going insane in the future.
I experienced that,
and then it goes over to what it actually looks like, and in the 80s, everyone looked skinny on the flight. They're having a big meal. In the present day, people are enormous. They can't fit in their seat, and they get like little snacks, little bags of snacks.
Bag of peanuts.
You're right. Not even peanuts. It's like a little bag of whatever, chips or whatever. But yeah.
And I experienced this when
if you got anything at all.
When I went to Rome, it was pre 9/11, and we got served delicious food.
Right.
When I went to the cruise for my honeymoon,
in the airplane, you got served delicious food.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I remember that you had a choice. They gave you 3 options. You had either a protein of fish, meat or chicken, or vegetarian, and you got a plate. And the airplanes were not that cramped. You had space. I was lighter back then, I must admit. But again, the whole makeup of the world was changed after 9/11.
Oh yeah.
They instilled that fear, hence the word terrorism. They instilled that terror.
Yeah.
Which now infringes upon our freedoms. But when I said that they didn't have any follow through, being that they go through this painstaking planning, which I have problems with, there's holes in this story, and I believe that we didn't get the full narrative of really what happened that day.
No, I mean, I don't think the planes were the only thing that brought those buildings down.
Well, not only that, but to hijack a plane with box cutters, but that's another topic for another day. I thought that they would continue with the terror, bombings. And let me tell you, and it happens to be that now this drone component is now in the on stage, which we're not. Every time the country or the media does not elaborate
or are shady with the information, you gotta be wary. Right. And these drones, it went from a conspiracy to something to admission to ridiculous narratives such as that this is something coming from Iran to I've even heard that these drones might be ours and we have lost a nuclear suitcase.
Yeah, I was hearing about that too.
And there's so many possibilities of what these drones mean. And of course you got the alien component.
Right.
Because these things are the size of vehicles. So the whole terrorist, drones, aliens, World War III, they all seem, they're not separate things happening simultaneously. It looks like they're all intertwined into one organism that we cannot stop.
Well, this is a scene from Leave the World Behind. Let's put this up on stage. Drones dropping pamphlets. I wonder what the symbolism on that is.
Now, what strikes me on this in this movie is that everything discussed in this scene is relevant now.
Yes.
Iran is a component. North Korea
with the whole drones, and North Korea is
China
is a component.
Well, check this out. Iran is a component, right? Iran is doing a proxy through Hezbollah. No, with not Hezbollah, with Hamas.
Hamas, yeah.
With the Israeli war, right? So there goes Iran. North Korea deploys troops to Russia for the whole Ukrainian situation.
Yeah.
South Korea, as of late, had martial law.
Right.
So South Korea is also a component.
Yeah. North Korea, South Korea,
China, and Iran.
Yep.
Then you have drones dropping pamphlets. Drones are a component right now.
Right.
So it's all relevant.
Yeah. Listen to what he says here. I'll put it back on screen for everyone to see here. And And this is made by Obama, by the way, which also gives me like the creeps that this guy is involved with this project.
If you follow the making of the movie, this is based on a novel that Obama read, right? Well, he insisted
on making this movie, and not
only in making the movie, but he insisted in inserting
his own parts. This is his project, right? He picked the actors and the directors and all that stuff. This is his project, and he inserted things here that, to me, I'm just like, one of the odd scenes in the movie was they put in Starbucks in there. There was no other brand listed, no other. They threw in Starbucks. Wondering what Starbucks' relevancy in this whole thing. They're saying it's a cyber attack. Another thing they kept saying was the power plants. Are there power plants in New York? Are there power plants in Queens? This is what kept being brought up. Specifically, power plants in New York, power plants in Queens kept being brought up over and over again in this movie. So it's very interesting. They also were saying that is a potential that perhaps cyber attacks were able to knock out our satellites. Maybe it wasn't like a physical drone attack or like a missile to the satellite, but maybe they knocked it out by some way of code or something like that. So all these things were going on in this movie that's coordinating with real life. Now, what happens in the movie is, for those that don't know, the beginning thing starts off, an oil tanker collides with a beach, right? And then
it beaches itself.
And that's one of the things that they were mentioning. It's not, they didn't say cargo ship, they kept saying oil tanker, right? So I was just
big logo of White Lion on it.
White Lion. So I was just like, you know what? Have there been any oil tanker collisions recently? Well, check this out. One day ago, a Jaipur tanker collision fire. So there was a tanker that collided. So, I mean...
but if this is something that you say happened a day ago.
Yeah.
But you also have, like you see up there, what happened with the bridge.
And the cargo ship hitting a bridge.
Boeing's blunders with airplanes going down.
Right.
Airplanes near missing each other.
And then if you look into airplane crashes, let me see.
Now, for people that are tuning in to the show for the first time,
there was a horrific Hawaii plane crash caught on camera 3 days ago. Planes collide on airport runway a day ago. A bunch of look at this. Camera captures military helicopter fall from sky in Alabama. That was a year ago. So there's a lot of plane crashes and things going on. Pilots are reporting UFOs flying around, or UAPs, if you want to call them that. So I don't know. There's a lot of
like what I was gonna say was, for people that are just tuning in and are getting a flavor of what we're all about. One thing that I firmly believe is it cannot be a coincidence that Leave the World Behind is coincidentally predicting things that are after the movie, like the way The Simpsons.
Right.
It happens to be that Michelle and Barack Obama are executive producers in this thing.
Right.
I believe in something called synchronicity. And it looked like there's something that Barack knows or is predicting, and it's happening.
I think he might know.
he might be aware, have some kind of conversations with Xi of figuring out their main ultimate motive and goal of what they're planning on doing, but or just being involved in the president and hearing all these things flying around with, you know, the presidential briefing. You know, you piece all that stuff together. But, you know, this is some stuff that is recently happening. So check this out. So one of the movies is based around, oh, my apologies. So one of the movies' main premise is that it's a cyber attack, right? That there's some kind of cyber attack that happens, and you know that's where the movie really begins, where the cyber attack has shut down the internet for some amount of time, right? So, hold on, my apologies. So, I don't know why we have commercials. We got the premium, but nonetheless, the whole thing is that basically they were making. I lost my train. I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Let me. What was I saying? That basically leave the world behind is leaving a lot of clues, and I'm picking up on how it is. How it's correlating to current day, and one of the biggest things that they were mentioning was
the cyber
attacks. And cyber attacks are happening in current day, and it's being spearheaded by China, and I'm very concerned about this because.
And let me tell you something: cyber attacks are happening more than what they're reporting.
Yeah. And I feel like what they're doing is feeling for what's the trigger that could collapse the internet for us. I feel like they're just doing different things to see, okay, is this going to do it? No. Is this going to do it? No. I feel like they're just like testing out our defenses.
And this is why when I heard the whistleblower say that this drone phenomena happening in New Jersey is ours, that these drones are ours, and what they are looking for is the nuclear briefcase, right? Now, can you Google what the nuclear briefcase is?
So let me see.
And we gotta unpack this within 30 minutes.
Yeah, so much to unpack. Hold on. What is a nuclear briefcase? So it says here. Let me put this up on screen for everybody. So it says here, the nuclear briefcase is a specifically outfitted briefcase to authorize the use of nuclear weapons and is usually kept near the leader of a nuclear weapons state at all times. They have one in France. In France, a nuclear briefcase does not officially exist. A black briefcase called the mobile base follows the president in all trips, but is not specifically devoted to nuclear force. In India does not have a nuclear briefcase. In India, Political Council of the Nuclear Command Authority must collectively authorize the use of nuclear weapons. In Russia's nuclear briefcase, codenamed Chagit, it supports communication between senior government officials while they are making the decision whether to use nuclear weapons. And in the United States, this section transcluded from Nuclear Football. In 1980 book Breaking Cover, Bill Gully, former director of the White House Military Office, wrote, "There are four things in the football: the Black Rock the Black Book containing retaliatory options, a book listing classified site locations, a manila folder with 8 or 10 pages stapled together giving a description of the procedures for the emergency alert system, and a 3 by 5 inch card with authentication codes. The Black Book was about 9 by 12 inches and had a 75 loose leaf pages printed in the back, printed in black and red. The book with classified site locations was about the same size as a Black Book and was black. It contained information on sites around the country where the president could be taken in an emergency.
Okay, so the fact that this whistleblower came out, can you Google whistleblower on drones? Because I want to know, did he say that we are looking for the nuclear football, or we are missing nuclear?
You're looking for what you're talking about is I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because can you imagine?
Because he was on the Patrick the David podcast.
Can you imagine that if somehow or another someone gets a nuclear device and sticks it on a drone and explodes this high into the atmosphere,
right,
and creates an EMP, thus knocking down the grid, and this is what they fear. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless.
I know exactly what you're talking about,
but I thought it was a reference to the nuclear briefcase, which is what we call the nuclear football. Because I heard this in passing. I did not hear any interview. I didn't hear the actual man speaking or the person speaking. But Leave the World Behind. It's a very interesting movie, and it continues to be relevant.
Right.
So,
yeah, and what makes it so interesting is that it happens to be Barack and Michelle Obama that basically made this movie. So, let me see if I find it here. I mean, I've been looking around, but the video is the drone expert. He's been saying that they're looking for, a nuclear football or a lost nuke, is what I'm hearing. That there was like a lost nuke that is traceable. Did you know that we've lost a few nukes?
No. Lately or in our history?
In our history. Let me Google that.
I think I heard something that happened in the 80s, if I'm correct.
So, that are still missing today. Yes. The United States has lost nuclear weapons during the Cold War era. In 1957, a C-124 aircraft lost power while transporting 3 weapons, a nuclear capsule off the East Coast. The crew dropped 2 weapons in the ocean before landing in New Jersey. Lost in the Philippine Sea, one of the lost bombs is believed to be a thermonuclear or hydrogen bomb that is 70 times more powerful than the one dropped on Hiroshima. Lost in the Philippine Sea. Lost in the Ian Sea, a missing bomb was found to have a tail and detonators but no warhead. The military gave up searching because of the amount of groundwater in the area. Lost in the Alborian Sea,
In 1966, a Spanish shrimp fisherman saw a white parcel fall from the sky and glide towards the Alborian Sea. Lost at sea, an armed nuclear weapon fell into the ocean after a plane hit the netting on the side of the elevator. The Navy called in other ships to help search, but they never found the weapon or the plane. So there's been multiple instances where the United States has lost nuclear weapons.
Well, I have this from CBS News. New Jersey officials have debunked claims that drones were deployed to search for missing radioactive materials from a shipping container, following social media speculations linked to reports of a mystery drone sightings. The shipment was a piece of medical equipment called a pin source, which contains a radioactive component commonly used to calibrate PET scanners. The pin source has been recovered. The rumors gained traction online and was echoed by Belleville Mayor Michael Melham during a Tuesday interview when he suggested the drones, which have been spotted over eastern states in recent weeks, might be involved in a search. In my opinion, they are looking for something, Melham said. There is an alert that's out right now that radioactive material in New Jersey has gone missing on December 2nd. There was a shipment that arrived at its destination. The container was damaged and was empty. So it's not the nuclear briefcase that he was talking about.
It's
radioactive. It's radioactive material.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting, and now they're saying it's debunked.
Right. So now,
but is it really?
Well, they Joe Rogan had Ryan Graves. You know who Ryan Graves is?
No.
So Ryan Graves is the guy that captured one of the UFO that FLIR footage. You know which one I'm talking about, that came out in the New York Times article.
Yes.
So essentially, he was one of the pilots that found that encountered these the anomalies, right? So he is saying that based on what he knows, that this is not the first time that drones have been around in this area. That this has been happening for the last 3 years. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know. But it makes sense since that area, it's a hot spot, especially in the Hudson River area,
right,
where people have been claiming to see UFOs.
Right. So let's check this out here.
Pause it. I'm experiencing something on my screen over here. Your image is black. Is there a reason for that?
It shouldn't be. Hold on.
I see you on that screen, but not on my screen. I just see myself.
Oh, interesting. Let's see. Hold on. Bear with us, folks. Maybe it's fine if you
oh, there it goes. Now a lot better.
Okay, so here we go. So this is Ryan Graves, and he's saying that he knows people that are on the team for weapons against mass destruction.
or weapons of mass destruction. So if there was a loose nuke somewhere, this team would be the ones that are going to be deployed looking for it. And he's saying that he spoke to them and they're not looking for anything. So there's
nothing radioactive.
Right. So for the fact that, for that simple fact, he feels like that's not possible, that they're looking for a nuclear missile or something like that, because of the fact that he knows the team that would be doing that particular search, and they have no.
Now, would they be
no
doing? Would they be doing this boots on the ground or through aerial?
Well, he said that they'll be in a skiff, meaning in a secure information room, where they can, deliberate and figure out what to do here.
So they do boots on the ground,
Right.
if anything.
So he's saying that that's not possible. Now let's hear.
Yeah, we covered that on the podcast.
Yep.
Which leads me to believe that what I saw in Agawam maybe was
a drone.
A drone.
So yeah, I mean, he's saying that this is something that's been going on. He feels that this is not just drones, that this is UAP, because of the fact that they have systems that are, blocking their radar, and they're launching EMPs at them, and they're still flying despite that. There's a lot of ways that they've been trying to bring them down, and a lot of people have questions. And whether or not it's a UFO is still
well. Let's treat our audience to what this anomaly might look at by what's been circling on social media. So if you go to the Trello,
well, okay, but I definitely have. We have short time, right? We only have a few minutes.
Yeah, we got 10 minutes.
Because I just wanted to quickly, because we never really actually wrapped up some of the connections that I was looking at between Leave the World Behind and some of the connections where I feel like it might be our adversary, it might be China, and it might be what Leave the World Behind is saying, a teaming up between Iran, Russia, and China. And I feel like this is another one of their latest probes to getting us scared, but I feel like what China's up to is that cyber attack really quickly. So that's one thing, one news.
So a thought just like popped into my mind. What if TikTok is the gateway to these hacks?
It's a possibility.
Which is why there's this push to eliminate it. Because believe it or not, a big portion of the population are on TikTok.
Yeah.
Where even the president is doing
and TikTok is directly connected to the Chinese Communist Party.
So this is maybe a way that they're able to
infiltrate.
Yeah, like once you have that either on your phone, on your PC, on your laptop, on your tablet, somehow or another, it's like once you open this app, it gives you a gateway into other systems.
That's a potential. So here another article saying Chinese hackers steal metadata in a major cybersecurity breach. A Chinese hacking group known as Salt Typhoon has stolen a significant amount of Americans' metadata in an ongoing cyber espionage campaign. A senior U.S. official revealed on Wednesday the hackers targeted telecommunications infrastructure in the United States, affecting a wide range of companies. While precise figures were not disclosed, the official confirmed that the breach was extensive and remains active.
So it's amazing to me that even though this is war,
right? Then you have this one.
This is war, and we're like actively trading with these people and allowing our companies to go over there. This is crazy. Let's wrap this up quick because we got 5 minutes.
So they're using Timo as another application. So they're doing these Trojan horse things to get into our.
So you know what? Now that that's
Just got a thought that just popped into my mind, which is out there. But imagine that if everything you buy on Temu, right? Like for example, let's say you buy something off Temu, right? And you cut it up. It would be fascinating if we find something embedded in these things.
Yeah. So now, going back to leave the world behind, one of the big things that they were mentioning all the time as well is the markets. The guy, one of the big, the main characters, GH, is like a trader, and he's like, the way you know what's going on in the world is by, he knew something was going to happen by evaluating the market.
By following the market, right.
So, check this out. It says here, China ramps up Wall Street meetings as Trump inauguration looms. Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng has met with several U.S. finance executives in the last month as Beijing seeks to build relationships ahead of the President-elect Donald Trump's planned tariffs on China. He Lifeng is one of China's 4 vice premiers and heads the ruling Communist Party. The Chinese are seeking all possible avenues to access those now ascending to power in Washington. The Trump team, said Peter Alexander, founder of Shanghai-based consulting firm Z-Ben Advisors. So let's see here. He had met with BlackRock chairman, Goldman Sachs. The Chinese are seeking all possible avenues to access those ascending to power in Washington. It says here, so they're basically, especially at the Treasury, they're pretty worried about the market reaction. So they're keeping their eyes open, but they're ramping up meetings with the Wall Street. They're doing things to like, they're watching the market as well. And a lot of what I'm hearing is that the market is surging, right? And that's one of the things that the guy, GH, was mentioning, that the market was surging. And what was happening before 9/11? The market was surging. So
it's spiking.
So there's a lot of little things like that that has me like wondering, is this like what they're planning? Is this a premonition? Is this real? Here, China attacked the U.S. with hackers. We need to hit back hard. The Chinese Communist Party is growing more brazen by the day, and it's aggressive spying right here in the United States and pre-positioning for cyber attacks on our critical infrastructure. Boom. Right, this is coming from Fox. This was 5 days ago, right? Recent reportings that China-sponsored hackers compromised America's major cellular network providers should be the last straw. It's time for Congress and the incoming Trump administration to impose escalating costs to deter the CCP. According to reports, the People's Republic of China, state-sponsored cyber actors compromised more than a dozen telecom providers, including America's major cellular networks, capturing real-time phone call, audio, and text message, and stealing the data of millions of Americans. Federal authorities have described the CCP targeting effort as a broad and significant cyber espionage campaign, one that continues as the CCP-affiliated actors are still in our telecommunications networks today.
All right, so let's cut it right there.
So there's a lot of things that this movie was referencing. Now,
I suggest that people that are listening to this podcast take a second look at the movie and see what you come up with. And to finish up, just give a people, this is going to be our UFO fix of the day.
So here, I'm going to go with this is our UFO segments for.
This is gonna be a quickie.
Alright, so this one's going to be a quickie, so I got some videos already loaded up here. Look at this one. Look at that one. You see that?
That looks like the Batman plane. The one that I found most interesting is the one I put on the Trello. That is something like what I saw in Agawam. Yeah, just because they claim not to know nothing, it doesn't mean that they know nothing.
Right.
As of lately, the reports have calmed down.
I mean, this is
But
from.
play a little compilation from the Trello.
This is from 2 days ago. So there's still a lot of reports of these drones being circulating around. But here's the Trello.
Play them continuously, one after the other.
All right.
And folks, you let us know. Have you seen this? This is in Vegas.
That looks like a military vehicle from Halo.
And this is in the daytime or at dusk.
You look at that, and then look at this. You see this here? On this screen over here? Very similar, right?
Yeah. There it goes. Play the next.
Alright. Hold on. There's a lot to unpack here. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to do it all. Look at that one. So, I mean, you asked a question. If you see a mothership going, are you going into work? And people are still nonchalant.
Yeah, but this is, look at this.
They keep calling them drones, but if they don't know what it is, that to me sounds like UFO. I mean, that's the definition. Unidentified flying object doesn't necessarily mean aliens, but those things are unidentified.
Well, in my scenario, I specifically stated if you wake up one morning, there is a mothership.
Like that?
Just hovering over a city. But at any rate, folks, let's get into our ultimate ohm.
Alright. So we hope you guys like the cast. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to do everything that we wanted, but
we got it in within the 3-hour mark.
And before we do the ultimate home and we purge negativity, I just have one real quick clip. Real quick.
You're killing me here.
The reason for this clip, I just want people to understand the gravity of what we're dealing with, and maybe we should really collectively urge our officials to do more about it. To notify us of what's going on, because the last thing you want is to wake up to this kind of scenario. And I wanted to play this right before the because I want to purge these negative thoughts. But check this out. This is what's happening in Beirut right now. This is very serious, folks.
Oh, I saw that.
Last thing you want is to be caught up with in something like that. And that's what Leave the World Behind and all these other stories, that's what they're leading to, and that's what we are hoping to avoid. So let's pray that Donald Trump and his team could prevent these things. So go ahead and I'll take it away.
All right, folks. We're upon the holiday season. Before we get into our ultimate home and our little prayer, I want to make one suggestion. Stay aware. Get maybe a 5-minute fix on current events and plug out. People are now heading towards their families to enjoy Christmas and what the holiday season offers. I suggest 5 minutes, give it to current events and the news and all what the television provides, because they're all liars anyway. Stay away from social media platforms. Just give it 5 minutes a day and devote the rest of that time to your families, to your friends, your wives, your parents, and enjoy this ancient tradition of breaking bread with one another, laughing, telling stories, curling up by a fire, exchanging gifts. Let's enjoy this holiday, because we don't know what the future may bring. And time, as in my experience, is seeming to move faster and faster every day. So take time for your families, give them love, break bread, and just enjoy the time that this holiday season gives us. And with that said, Holy Father, fill me with your divine light and overflowing positivity. Grant me the strength to radiate love and joy in all that I do. Guide me to attract positive energy and repel any negativity. May your presence uplift my spirit and bring hope to those around me. Amen. This is what the holiday season should be. To purge yourself out of all negativity and exude and ooze out of every pore positivity with your family. Break bread and enjoy. And we're gonna provoke this through the ultimate Om. Exhale, purging out all negative energy. And this is a perfect time for people that believe in, taking these special baths to eliminate all negativity. This is the time to do it so that we could bring in the new year in a positive light. So folks, have a Merry Christmas. We will be here next week, the weekend before the new year.
Yep.
Enjoy your holiday. Don't eat too much, but engorge yourself. Overeat in love. Love your family hard. Try not to get into any squabbles, especially anything political. Let's just love one another and enjoy this holiday, because this is what it's meant to be.
Amen.
From the Paramid Podcast, I'm Aesto Morado.
Now I'm Pablo Morado.
And remember, if the universe is infinite, then so are the possibilities. And remember, the paranormal is all around us. You just have to look closely.
Good night, folks.
Good night. Peace.